Assalamu alaikum students. We are starting question number 5 of exercise 10G, right? And the question states that x is a point on AB such that AX ratio XB is equals to 1 ratio 2. Here you can see in the figure we have a parallelogram, and it is also given in the question that it's a parallelogram, which means that opposite sides are equal. OC will be equals to AB. Likewise, OA will be equals to CB, right? And x is a point on AB. On this line or this side AB, x is a point such that AX ratio XB is equals to 1 ratio 2. It means that if we take the ratio of AX and XB, then XB is twice of AX. Okay. And y is the midpoint of BC, and on the side BC there is a point y which is midpoint of BC, which means that it divides BC into two equal parts. Okay, now express before, okay, just look at the values given here. OA is equals to 6p and OC is given 6q, which means that if OC is 6q, then AB is also 6q, and if OA is 6p, then its opposite side BC is also equals to 6p. Now they have asked you to express the followings in terms of P and Q. They have asked you to express the following sides in terms of P and Q, because the values are given as P and Q. So when we will find AX or any of these sides, or any any line like OX or OY, then you will get the answer in terms of P and Q. So let's start from the part 1, that is to find to express AX in terms of P and Q. The first one is to find AX. Okay, we're gonna find it. To find AX, what I'm gonna do is I'll take the ratio of AX to AB. I'm gonna use this condition here, which is given that AX ratio XB is equals to 1 ratio 2. Okay, I can alternatively write this ratio as AX ratio AB, which will be equals to, if I take the whole side AB, and I know that AX is 1 and XB is twice of AX, then AB will be equals to 3, right? And AX will remain 1. So I have taken here AX ratio AB, which will be equals to 1 ratio 3. Okay, and the reason why I have taken AB, because I know the value of AB. So if I write the ratio in this form, then I can easily find this AX. So now it means that I can write AX over AB is equals to 1 over 3, right? From here AX will be equals to 1 over 3, and this AB will be multiplied on this side into AB. Now see, I had, as I mentioned earlier, that AB is equals to 6q, because OC is 6q. So I'm gonna replace this AB by 6q here. I will substitute its value. It will be 1 over 3 into 6q, and on simplifying it we will get 3 into 2. Okay, it's 2q, and that's the value of AX. We expressed AX in terms of P and Q, or P or Q. So this is our answer in terms of Q, right? Now the part 2 is to find OX. Let's see here. This is OX. OX, and as it's a vector and its direction will be this one, OX, starting from O and ending at X. Now we can easily do that by applying the right hand rule that we sorry, not right hand rule, it's head to tail rule that we use for adding vectors, right? And we know that if this is a resultant vector that we're going to find, which is OX, then this is our first vector, right? And its direction is from O to A, and then we will have this other vector AX, right? This one. So I can use here the right hand rule to find AX. sorry, OX, to find OX. And we know that OX by head to tail rule, it will be equals to OA plus AX. Do we know OA? OA is this side, which is given equals to 6P, right? And AX is the one that we just found, which is 2Q. So I'm gonna substitute both of these here, and my answer will be OA is 6P plus AX, which is 2Q, and that's all. We found OX in terms of P and Q. Now moving to the part 3, which is to find OY. OY, which is this side, this line segment, this vector, sorry, OY, and its direction will be this, starting from O and ending at Y. Now by head to tail rule, this is a resultant vector, right, that we are going to find, and its tail is always joining with the tail of first vector. So this will be equals to OC plus the second vector CY. Okay, and as these sides are equal and parallel, so it means that the side of YC is also upward. It's starting from C and moving towards Y. So now I'm going to substitute the values here. OC is 6Q plus CY. Now we don't know the value of CY, but we know that BC is equals to OA. It means that BC is also equals to 6P, right? And as it is mentioned in the question that Y is the midpoint of BC. Y is midpoint of BC. It means that CY will be equals to half of BC. Or if I take BY, that will also be equals to half of BC, because midpoint divides it into two equal parts. So CY will be equals to half of 6P, right? Now I'm gonna simplify it and I will get 6Q plus 3P, and we just found this third part, and we expressed OY in terms of P and Q. Now let's moving to part 3, that is to express XY in terms of P or Q. Now look at here, XY vector, let's just draw it. Its direction will be from X to Y. It's gonna be this vector because XY. It's starting from point X and its direction is towards Y. Now this is a resultant vector, right? And its tail is joining with the first vector. We know that the tail of resultant vectors joins with the tail of the first vector. So now in this case XO will be or vector, and its direction will be from X to O, right? And from here the direction of OY will be from O to Y, right? Because the head of the resultant vectors joins with the head of second vector. So I'm gonna write that for part 3, which is XY. XY is equals to XO plus OY. Now look at this very carefully. It's a part 4 of this question. XO is we found earlier OX, not XO. So XO will be negative of this vector because it's opposite of OX. So I'm gonna write that XO is negative of OX plus OY. OY will remain same because we found OY already. It's not YO. So minus into OX is 6P plus 2Q plus OY is 6Q plus 3P, right? And on simplifying it, you will get the answer as 6Q minus 3P, which is equals to XY. Sorry, it comes out to be, on simplifying, you will get that 4Q minus 3P, which is XY. So we expressed XY vector in terms of P and Q, right? Now let's move to part 3, which is to find AY. It's part 5 of this question, to find AY. Now let's look at the figure again. AY. The vector AY is, I'm just gonna erase the previous vector so that you can understand it, because it's quite messy now. So AY is gonna be this vector starting from A and ending at Y. Okay, and its direction will also be at point towards point Y, because the vector is named as AY. And if this is a resultant vector, the tail of resultant vector joins with the or meets with the, coincides with the tail of first vector. So it means that it's the tail of vector AO, and we'll take its direction from A towards O. So it's gonna be equals to AO, right, plus the second vector OY, right, because this is the vector that joins with the Y again. Okay, so AY will be equals to AO plus OY. So I'm gonna take AO negative of OA, which will be minus 6P, because OA is equals to 6P, plus OY is this vector plus 6Q plus 3P, right? Now on simplifying it, I will get 6Q minus 3P, which is AY. And that's all. Thank you.